It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Chrome OS 98. I'll be showing you 7 new features this updated operating system has. Now this is part of a series that Huey Poplick and I do monthly called Learning Chromebooks. If you are interested in participating, simply click the link below and you can register for our monthly event. We spend about an hour going over the new features in the Chrome operating system. Today I'll be talking about the new Chrome OS 98 and 7 new features you can use on your Chromebook. If you like this video, please click the like and subscribe. Let's get on with the show. I would like to talk about the Chrome OS setting flag, F-L-A-G. We are now having monthly updates of the Chrome operating system. This will lead to many new features, some of which will be sitting behind flags. Now, what does that mean and how do we get to the flag menu? There are really 3 menus for settings that you can get on your Chromebook. So let's see what these are. So most of you are familiar. If we come down to the right side, we're simply going to click on this. We'll get rid of our calendar and we're going to come over to settings, which is right here. We're going to click on settings. And this will, of course, bring you back up to the traditional setting that you all understand and use. Now, we're going to get out of here, but there's another setting that you can come to, and we're going to come up, and this is the Chrome browser setting. In the early days of Chromebooks, there were 2 different areas that you could find settings. There was within your, of course, Chrome OS, which I just showed you, but also there were, if you come up here, this is your Chrome browser. Your Chrome browser actually has settings. As we come down here, you'll see this is settings. When we click this, you will see it says, if a setting doesn't show, look in your Chrome OS settings. So Google now has made all the settings for a Chromebook in the original settings menu I showed you. If you come to the browser settings, it will just refer you back to the Chrome OS settings, as this does by clicking this button here. But what I want you to do is I want you to come up into the browser, and what we're going to do is we're going to type the word flags, and we're going to hit enter. And this is going to bring you up to the flag menu in the Chrome browser. Now this has all the features that are just about ready for public release. Many of these settings will be enabled for the next version to come out. A lot of the new Chrome features require you to manually turn on the flag to allow those features to work. This doesn't mean they're developmental or experimental features. This just means they haven't been turned on for that particular edition of the operating system. You'll see here I have a number of features enabled. And let's look at the first one here, and we'll be talking about these a little bit later. Drag window to new desk. This is a feature I have enabled. Now if you come down here, you'll see that by default it will not be enabled, and we can either enable it or we can disable it. Once we've done that, we will need a restart of your Chromebook to allow these features to be active. Each month when I describe new features in the Chrome operating system, there may be flags required to make the feature work. I will put that in the show notes and also at the beginning of the segment to indicate what flags you need to change to make the feature work. You can also do multiple flags and then just do one reboot of your Chromebook, which I would recommend. In Chrome OS 98, you have the ability to log into your Chromebook using your smartphone. Why would you want to do this? What are our other options? Well, if we go back and look at Chromebooks back in the beginning, when you logged into your Chromebook, you required your Google account password. For those of you who had strong passwords, suppose you went and had LastPass draw you up a complicated 10-digit password that you'd never remember. This became a huge problem because every time you needed to log into your Chromebook, you needed to use this complex password. This proved very, very cumbersome. So a number of years ago, Chrome OS allowed you to create a PIN code to log in with. And you were able to choose whether you wanted a PIN or password. Well, just a minute. In the early stages, you didn't get the choice. Google did the choice. And they alternated back and forth between PIN and password. It still was a huge problem because a lot of times they just made you put that password in rather than using a simplified PIN. Over the past couple of years, this has changed. And my experience in the last 6 months is that it rarely, if ever, asks me for my Google password. It lets me use a PIN number. Let's just go over and see how this works. As you see on the screen here, you'll see that we now are in the security. We've gone to settings, security, and privacy, and we're going to come up to the log screen and sign in. And we're going to look at PIN or password. When we click this, we're prompted to enter our Google password. Once we have entered our Google password, we then have the opportunity now to set parameters. We're able to look at, this is the lock screen and sign in. Now, you have the option of looking at the lock screen from when you go from waking to sleeping. And once the lock screen comes up from sleep mode, then you have the opportunity of choosing a password, or you can choose a PIN or a password. And this is now it used to be a 4-digit code, but it is a 6-digit code that you have to use. You can certainly change the PIN, and you can say that unlock automatically once the PIN has entered. And you'll see I have those toggled on. Now what we're going to talk about today is Smart Unlock. This is where you can unlock your Chromebook from your phone. That's pretty cool. Let's have a look and see. Now as you can see, I have it set up and is turned on. Let's learn a little more about this. So you can unlock your Chromebook with your Android phone. Let's learn how to do this. Let's see what you'll need first of all. What you need for your Chromebook, you'll need a connected Android phone. You'll need an internet connection, and you'll need to sign in to the same account as your phone. For your phone, you'll need an Android version L-MR1 and up. Your phone will need to be unlocked. Bluetooth will need to be turned on, and the screen lock setup turned on. To set up Smart Lock on your Chromebook, you will need your Chromebook. At the bottom right, select the time, select settings, and under connected devices, select your Android phone. Select Smart Lock, select unlock device, and sign into your Google account. So let's see how to do this. Now we're going to go to settings, and we're going to come into settings, and over on the left side, you're going to see connected devices. We're now going to come over to the right, and you'll see it says Android phone. Let's click Setup. And we're going to come down here, and it's going to tell you that we're going to select a phone that we're going to connect with. And I'm going to choose my Pixel 3. I have a Pixel 6, but I'm going to choose the Pixel 3. We have sync Wi-Fi network with your phone, offer other features when they become available. We are going to accept. And again, we're going to enter our password. Click Done. And we are ready to go. So now let's come up to, it now recognizes our Pixel 3 phone. We're going to come over to the right and we're going to click our button here. Again, we'll enter our password. Lots of security. And now we have enabled this. We're going to click this little caret to the right, and you'll see here that we have now enabled this feature. And let's look at Smart Lock. We're going to come over here, and I'm going to turn Smart Lock on. And now we've turned on Smart Unlock. Let's learn a little bit more about it. Now we have a choice. We can either unlock the device only, or we can unlock the device and sign in to our Google account. As part of the syncing to your smartphone, you can also enable instant tethering, messages. We can use your phone as a hub, and you also can Wi-Fi sync. These are other features we'll probably discuss in another video. So now when you come to the login for your Chromebook, you'll be prompted with 3 choices. You'll be able to use your Google password, you'll be able to use your 6-digit PIN number, or you will be able to use your smartphone. What will happen is you will simply unlock your smartphone either using a code to your phone. You can use any of the biometrics you use to unlock your smartphone. In my case, I use a fingerprint scanner. This allows me to instant access to my Chromebook. From a practical point of view, I mostly use the PIN code. In the morning when I'm using my Chromebook, I often don't have my phone with me, so it just doesn't offer a lot of advantages. But in your specific situation, this can be a very good feature. And that's how you set it up. All right, let me show you some new site settings in Chrome OS 98. This is my Google Calendar app that I have on my screen. So if you come up and we come to the Omni bar here, let's come over to the right and you'll see this, this little share button here. Let's click this. And now you'll see, isn't this going to be great? The copy button right here. Because remember, do you remember how difficult if you wanted to send this to somebody and this is the URL that you wanted to copy, that you have to, backspace and try and drag this along like this. And when you're using your trackpad, sometimes this isn't always so easy. Now it's very simple. You just come up, click this button, click copy, and now it's copied to the clipboard. And we can easily just paste it into an email. And we come down here, right click, and we'll just paste it right into the email. And there you go. So that is so cool. It's just this, this is a new feature in Chrome OS 98, the share button, and they have the copy command now easily available for you. Now the next thing in site settings I want to show you is we're going to come up to our URL here, and this can be any website. We're just going to use this one. And if we click the little lock box here, it's going to come down, and now we have a lot of different options here, and you can see the permissions for this site. And if you look here, you'll see notifications. If you don't want to get notifications from this site, then we can just turn this off. So you can toggle it on or off. So each site you go to now, you can actually look at the site permissions just by coming up here and clicking on the little box just to the left of the URL. Now I'd like to talk about the new features virtual desktops in Chrome OS 98. Now, as you know, you can get to the virtual desktops by hitting the overview key on your keyboard. And this will bring up the virtual desktops that you can see on the top of my screen. And you can click each one, will bring up a different desktop. Now, we also can get to the virtual desktops by doing a 3-finger swipe up on the trackpad. So we can use the trackpad with a 3-finger swipe up, or we can use the overview key to toggle to our virtual desktop. So virtual desktops are an important topic, and I think people who use Chromebooks don't use them enough. One of the great productivity tools I use is multiple monitors. I have different windows open on each monitor. It makes my efficiency so much better. But many people don't have a second monitor, and this is a great way by using virtual desktops to accomplish this. And I'm going to show you today how virtual desktops work, and also the improvements and changes that have been made in Chrome OS 98. So let's have a look and see how virtual desktops on our Chromebook will help us with increased efficiency and productivity. This is an example of my Chromebook screen. And if you look at the top, you'll see I have a number of applications open. I have a Google Calendar, I have Google Podcasts, I have My Drive, and I have a spreadsheet open. Now, this is just an example I'm going to give you of how your day may be set up. I've titled this Work. Now, this may be the menu that I will use every day when I come to work with my Chromebook. Now, I'm just using this as an example. Yours, of course, will be very different. But the point that I'm making is that this may be the menu that you will use every day. So let's see how we can use virtual desktop to make our life easier. Now, we're going to hit the overview key. Now, this is going to bring up this menu, and again, you will see at the top we have our virtual desktops. Now, templates is a new one. I want you to pay attention to templates, and also this on the left-hand side, save desk as template. We'll come to that. This is the part that's new for Chrome OS 98. But as you know, we can add up to 8 virtual desktops. Now, when we came to these are the windows that we have open on our Chromebook right now. It has already made a virtual desktop with Desk 2. I'm going to rename this, and I'm going to title this Test. I already have a home virtual desktop, which I saved before, but with these recent applications open, these 4 applications, I'm going to save this as a test, which automatically will go into a virtual desktop, desk number 2. Now we can save, as I said, up to 8 desktops. And you can toggle between each desktop, so you can have multiple windows open, different windows on each desktop, and just toggle through. The thing that you need to know about these desktops is that, well, the desktops will stay up there. The contents of the desktop will go away when you reboot your computer. So they're not permanent. While the desktops will stay there and the names will stay there, the contents of the desktop do not stay once you reboot your computer. This was a bit of a challenge because obviously when we set this up, we would like it to be there each time we come back to use our Chromebook. So with Chrome OS 98, you now have the template option, and you can save these as templates. Now, if you look over at the template list that I have, if you click on this, you will see that I have 3 templates. I made a template up for health, which has my health app. I made a template up for home, which has the various windows open for home, and I have one for work. These are examples of how you might want to set it up, but you have a choice of 8 different virtual desktops that, of course, you can toggle through. So double-clicking on the test one brings us back to our desktop, which again has our 4 applications open. Let's say I want to move to my health app. I can go to the overview. I can choose templates, and maybe I want to do some health work. And if I click on this, then of course here is my blood pressure monitoring app that I use. So one of the big advantages of the virtual desktop is you can set your windows up as you want. You can actually set the formatting up so that they come in at different levels or different positions on the screen, and it will save that for you as well. Let me show you an example. We're going to hit the overview button, and we're going to come up again. Let's come to my template, and you'll see I have 3 templates. And let's look at the health app. We'll click on this, and this of course is bringing up the health app. Now I purposely left the window not as full screen and in a different location so that you could see how this would look. So you could have 3 or 4 apps organized on the screen how you wish and formatted nicely to use, and it would save all that formatting. All right, let's look at this screen. I have 2 applications open. I have Google Chrome open, and I have it set to a news feed called Feedly. This is where each day I look at my news information. So I have this open as a window in Chrome to Feedly. I also have open an app called Google News, and this is also where I get news information. So these 2 windows are always open when I come to my office so that I can review the daily news. Let's go to the overview now. And what you'll see now in the overview is you'll see that in fact Chrome OS has now made desktop 3 for these 2 items to be used. So I can toggle now between these various desktops. Whenever I toggle to desktop 3, it will bring up these 2 applications. The problem, as I mentioned before, is that when you reboot your computer, this will go away. So we're going to save this as a template. So I'm going to come over here and we're going to click on Save This as a Template. And now it will save this as Desk3 as a template, and I'm going to rename this News. So now when I can certainly go to my health app, I can go to my home, I can go to my work, but now when I want to bring up the news, I simply click this, and this will bring up those 2 applications as they were saved on my desktop for news. So you see how you can build your desktop up and make this more efficient, as you can toggle through whatever desktops you've saved. And these will be saved each time you do reboot your computer. And again, this is new in Chrome OS 98. Now let's come back to our example again. I'm going to come to our news section, which is here. Now let's say you want to create a desktop, but you want to put Google News only in it. You don't want Feedly in. So watch what happens here as I drag this application up, and I can drop it into desktop 4. This again, the drag and drop is a new feature in Chrome OS 98, so that you can actually take applications and drag them and drop them into a virtual desk. Again, this is a new feature in Chrome OS 98. New for Chrome OS 98 is the ability to switch between virtual desktop using a new shortcut. The shortcut is Shift plus Search, and then you can choose the number of the desktop you want. Let's have a look at this. I told you before, you can use a 3-finger swipe up on your trackpad, which will give you the overview button. You can get that to the same place by simply clicking the overview button, and that will bring up the virtual desktop menu. Now you can see here that we have virtual desktop. The first one is called Home, then Desktop 2, Work, and Health. So let's say that we're now in the Health app and we want to move to the next virtual desktop. Now we can use the Shift key and the Search key, which we push here, both those together, and we can choose the numbers on the keypad to go to the specific desktop we want. If we want desktop 1, we can choose that. We want desktop 2, we hit 2, or we want desktop 3. And you can move specifically to the virtual desktop that you want. For example, if we wanted desktop 1, we would just hit 1, and if we wanted desktop 3, we could hit 3. So you don't actually have to cycle through all of them to get to the specific one you want. Again, this is very handy when you're trying to move into a specific desktop that may have multiple applications open. New for Chrome OS 98. All right, another great feature with Chrome OS 98 is the launch button. Let's go down and see how the launcher is changed now. Let's click this, the launch button at the bottom left. Isn't that great? You now see it comes up as a window. Remember in the past when you clicked the launcher, it just took over the whole screen. We now have it in a window. So as we look at the window now, you'll see, of course, these are the last 5 apps that we've had open. Let's come down here to our apps. We can now scroll through these and have a look at them. And if we right-click, we can now reorder. And we can reorder by name. We can do alphabetical, reverse alphabetical, or we can order them by color. I'm not sure how much that is a big advantage, but certainly by name. So if I wanted a reverse alphabetical, I'm just going to click this, and bingo, all the apps are in a reverse order for me, starting with Z. If we want to come back now and we want to reorder them by alphabetical, we'll just click this, and again we start with A for Amazon. This is a big improvement over past versions. With Chrome OS 98, we have an improved screen capture tool that now allows you to select which location new captures will be sent to when created. Before, they were automatically dumped into the Downloads folder in the Chrome OS Files app. But for anyone who is familiar with how said local folder works, anything that resides there is wiped out if you clean your Chromebook when it crashes or burns. That's why the ability to select a safe location in Google Drive or on an external storage device like a thumb drive or a hard drive is so essential and welcome. For today's demonstration, I'm going to create a new folder. So we're going to come up to the top right here, and I'm just going to create a new folder called Image Scan. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down to the right side now, and we're going to open up our screen capture here, and we are going to select an area that we want to capture, and we're going to come down here before we actually do this, and we're going to see where it says Save To. I'm going to click this, Save To, and I'm going to come down to Select a Folder. And now we're going to come down, and we're going to, instead of going to our Downloads folder, we can now choose Image Scan. Now it copies it to clipboard, but we're going to come up here and say show in folder. And here it is in the folder, My Files, Image Scan, and we've now put our screen capture in the folder we want. So you can choose, if you have an external drive, Google Drive, wherever you want to put the screen captures. You do not have to store them now in your downloads directory. Remember, your downloads directory will be wiped out if you reformat your or you do a power wash of your Chromebook. So putting your screenshots in a safe place is often a good idea. Well, it's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Chrome OS 98, 7 new features. It's a good one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next month. Remember, like and subscribe. And please, if you want to attend our Learning Chromebook session, just click the link below to register. Till next month, Ron Brown with Tech for Senior.